Hello, Sorors and friends. I'd like to welcome you for joining us today. I really appreciate you being on. Today, I would like to introduce Mrs. Keisha Van Hook. Um, Her platform is a program that focuses on minority males in the community. The name of this group is called Generation Next. Keisha reaches out to strong minority males in the community to come out and speak to the young men and to mentor them weekly. The focus is on manhood, leadership, responsibilities, and character. She also provides guidance, weekly lessons, grade, behavior, and attendance checkups. This program is near and dear to her heart. So it goes without saying that all of the above is done as well as her focus on and with love and support. Please help me welcome Miss Keisha Van Hook as she talks about her program, Generation Next. Hello, Keisha. Thank you and welcome thank you for being here.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the program and how it got started?
Yes, so I am a school counselor at Humphrey Middle School in Bolingbrook. And here's where I started my program. So we're going to our 5th year this fall. So the reason I started the program is I have been in education for about 10 years, and I've worked in several schools within our district, and I've subbed in several districts as well. And I saw a pattern that was pulling at my heartstrings. I saw students struggling, mostly minority males, Black and Hispanic. They would struggle socially. They would get in trouble. They struggle academically. And so being part of that community, it really tugged at me that I wanted to be part of the solution, because I felt that anytime you reach out to a student that's struggling, most of the time they have a story. There's a reason. You know, a lot of people say, oh, this kid is bad. No, there's no child that's bad. They may be in a bad situation, and most of the times that's what it is. They've given up, their parents have given up, the school system may have given up. And so I wanted to be that support for these boys. And when you see the news and you see what happens in our community, oftentimes it's our boys that struggle even more than the girls. And I have a vision. I like to say, just like King had a dream, well, I have a dream that these boys will grow up to be doctors and lawyers and judges and make an impact on the world. And I'm sorry, it makes me cry. But I want it to be the change. I wanted to see these boys go out into our communities and do well, do beyond the expectation. Mm-hmm. So that's why I started the group.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how long has the group been going on?
We'll be going into our 5th year in the fall.
Okay. And what are some of the challenges you face with having the group? I know you reach out to men in the community to get them to come out weekly. Can you tell me how that goes as far as you're reaching out? And then also after that, any challenges that you face with the group, any challenges that come up?
Yeah, I connect with, first of all, men in our district. You know, we have a lot of staff that are Black and positive males. And I say, hey, can you come and can you talk to my boys? And I will, if I talk to people in my community and family and the friends, I will say, hey, can you come and talk to my boys? If I randomly meet someone, you know, I work at Costco part-time, and it's a funny story. I was overhearing a gentleman on the phone, and he was talking about church and how he was associate pastor. And I said, hey, I got these boys I'd like for you to talk to. Just be eavesdropping. I heard the positivity in his conversation. And I said, and he was in Bolingbrook, and I'm like, I need you to help me with something. So it's I definitely don't have an issue finding are the men to speak, but I
Great.
really want it to be men in the community because I want the boys to know that there's success right here. You don't have to go far. You don't have to dream big to and model after this NBA player who you'll never reach. You don't have to model after this rap star. You don't have to model after this, just someone that you will never touch or really talk to. There are people right here in your community that are doing what we hope that all the rest of us will do, that you can aspire to. So I want to make sure that it's local people that then build these connections and they can reach out to. And the men find it to be very rewarding. So that is definitely a good thing. As far as challenges, I will say I really haven't had many challenges because I think the world knows that this is something that needs to happen.
Good, good. So if there was someone interested, ourselves, as we know, young minorities, how would they go about reaching out and joining the organization? And is there a certain age range that you target?
Well, my organization right now is just specifically for my students.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't branched out. So some schools are maybe, trying to get their own programs together, but I haven't opened it up to the community. We're a tight fit because I make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
And, I keep my numbers at about 25. So all of my students right now are in my school.
Okay. You seem very passionate about it. It seems that it's just so near and dear to your heart. I have no doubt that this is only the beginning where you are doing this locally. This seems like something that will just take off and spread and become even bigger. If you had to envision the next step or it going, even bigger, what would that look like? What are some of the things that you would like to maybe in 2022 grow the organization and the group?
Well, ideally, I would like to see more schools have such a program that I have. The issue is a lot of times you don't have the staff to staff it. So that would be an issue. But ideally, everyone were able to have such a program at their buildings.
Mm-hmm.
If we could see this kind of support in elementary, in middle school, and in high school, that would be great because that's where the kids are.
Yes.
Meet them where they are. They're coming to the school building. That's the best opportunity to reach them.
And I think it's excellent. You as a female are taking over a male group. Can you tell me a little bit about why males? Why did you choose to reach out to males? We have our issues with the female population and the males, and this is something so near to your heart. What made you decide I'm going to take on this and have a group with young men?
Well, as we were talking about that earlier, one of the things that I noticed was just that the males struggle more than the females. Talk about African American or Hispanic. So part of my job as a school counselor is I monitor a lot of data, and data shows that the males struggle more academically and they struggle more socially. So,
and how long in your career, you said as a social worker, is that correct?
School counselor.
School counselor. How long have you been in that arena?
So for about 10 years.
Wow, 10 years. That is excellent. So you've seen a lot and you understand some of the problems and challenges that they face. Outside of your group, just in general at the school system, can you tell us about some of the problems that you're seeing with kids as they come in? Because again, your platform is for males, but as a school worker, you are seeing issues also, males and females. So can you tell us about some of the issues that you're seeing in the schools, problems?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems right now is the lack of self-confidence. A lot of students that coming from being at home, going through the pandemic, they've lost their self-confidence. We have a lot of students that are failing academically that used to be BC students. So along with so many things that has happened as a result of the pandemic, we have the backlash that a lot of students have not had the opportunities to really be engaging with other people. They haven't had the opportunities to be in the school building where they can be around their teachers and their classmates. And unfortunately, what I see is right now, post-COVID, a lot of students not doing well academically. So there was already what was coined as a COVID slide academically. So now you have also a lot of students have given up. Students to be engaged remotely, and many came through, but many just didn't have that self-confidence, that self-esteem that they really needed to persevere. So I think it's like a life lesson. That's part of the challenge. As we come back, we have to rebuild our students. We have to feed them that encouragement. We have to feed them that diligence and that dedication to themselves so they can persevere through. We have to show them that sometimes life will have obstacles and you'll experience adversity, but how can you get through? So just giving them some foundational skills so they can come back strong. And so next year will be successful, and then they can move through all of the struggles that they saw and experience and still come out winners.
Sounds good. So many of us in organizations such as this one, Alpha Kappa Alpha, with T-Life Foundation, we're always here to help and provide support. Is there anything that when reaching out to different organizations would help support your organization and where you're in need? Where can organizations such as Alpha Kappa Alpha or any other organizations, how can we help? What would be an area that you would need most help in?
What I see is that a lot of our students don't see the future. They don't have that view of themselves being a winner in the end, where low expectations. So we were talking earlier and I said, like, I would like to see these boys go on to be judges and lawyers and doctors. I would like help from the community to push that campaign. I think so many of us in the Black community have pushed the idea that our kids are going to be basketball players, or, you know, a lot of the kids idealize the music industry or rap artists and those kind of things, where I think we need to get back to the basics and really push education as our way out. I think pushing the idea that higher education is where it needs to be is the ideal goal. So for organizations to help put on any kind of programs, or even, you know, like supporting my programs, I've often, as an example, I know you guys are a female organization, but if any of the fraternities could come, we could connect, because I could show the boys, okay, well, this is a part of college life. There's other things that you can think about just going to college. You know, there's a fun piece, there's community in the college. So just opening up their minds to the idea of college, the idea of hard work, the idea of perseverance and pushing through. So really organizing events with the community to push education as our platform, education and hard work.
And that's why it's so great that you came on to here today, because now that we are aware and we're in the know, again, you're right, we are a female organization, but many of us have husbands, uncles, fathers who, you know, have different degrees and backgrounds where they would possibly be able to come out and speak. And now that we're aware, we can reach out to them, as well as fraternities that we know that we partner with, or just who are our friends and family. So I think what I'd like to do is to urge anyone to find out more about this, reach out to myself or Sora Pat Mead, Keisha Van Hook, and I can provide her information later if you know someone who would be willing to come and speak to our young minority men. I think it's an excellent program, an excellent idea. I'm so thankful that you took the time out to come and speak with us today. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, or anything you want to offer? Any positive thoughts of where you've seen, I know it's only been 5 years, but do you have any success stories yet, or we're still waiting for that graduation class to go on and to do more? Any success stories yet, or we're just praying and crossing our fingers for a best outcome to come?
There's always success.
Great. I love to hear about them.
Yes. I mean, anytime we can convince a student that they can do it, that's a success.
Absolutely.
My is to really instill in these students that they can do whatever they're set their minds to. And I want them to understand that they need to set their expectations high. So many success stories. I think anytime a child changes that mindset, they change that switch from I can't to I can, it's a success story. I do have a presentation that I put together a couple years ago that I can share with you all, just to kind of see some of the work that we've done. Give me 1 second to, I have to see if I can't, I don't know if I can share my screen. Perhaps, Deidre, I can email it to you.
No, you can share your screen. Go right ahead, Keisha.
I am able to, okay, give me 1 moment. Now there is music to it as well. Okay, let me. Okay, you guys are able to see it. Let me just connect the sound.
Yes.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it up. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. 'Cause all I do is win.
That was excellent. Very nice, and very impressive as well. I saw a number of different activities. It looks like they may have been at a basketball game once, some swimming, a parents' night. Can you tell us just a little something about the parents' night?
Yeah, so I definitely include my parents with a lot of events. I think it's important that you have the parent support, because we could do all we can at the school building, but if the parents aren't on board with promoting the same things that we are, it kind of falls at death's door. So I encourage parents to come out. I have yearly a parent event, and the one event that you saw, I had Momentum come out, and he does spoken word and he talks about his story. It was awesome. And so we do a lot of events. We also did a Bulls trip, which was set as a reward for those that didn't have any failing grades or any referrals for a time period, and parents were invited to that. So a lot of what we do, definitely including the parents, and we had gone to the YMCA. That was also another reward trip. We do a lot of connecting with organizations in our community as well. So they have a lot of fun. You know, I definitely don't want it to be where they just meet every week and you have some old guy talking to them. No, it's interactive. They have a good time. We've gone, they like hanging out because we went to Cracker Barrel, not Cracker Barrel, Golden Corral. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's lots of fun things, bowling. And so I use the outings as reward basis because I want them to know that you can have fun and you can celebrate your success, but we need you to work towards it. I don't just give them anything and they haven't worked for it. Mm-hmm. So try to, you know, put in some fun with the things, and definitely the parent nights. It was just really awesome. And I did an award ceremony at the parent night as well. So everyone received awards because they had really worked hard.
That's wonderful. And so how are some, please forgive me if you've mentioned this already, how are some of your activities funded?
Well, funny story, my principal knows that I ask for a lot of money. So my district is really supportive of my program.
Wonderful.
I must say, if I need, I'm like, hey, can I get, and most times they will allow me to do. We just did a bowling trip for the end of the year for those students that did well, that they didn't have any failing grades, no referrals. And so our district, because they support my program, they funded that for us. And local churches, they've donated money. One of the churches, Victory Cathedral, they actually donated and paid for our Bulls trip a few years ago. And they've donated and paid for us to go to Golden Corral. So outside donations as well as the district.
Okay. And before we go, because I know I'm so appreciative to you taking the time, I just want to switch gears one second and have you talk about something, because I know you personally. I'd like for you to share something that's even more near and dear to your heart. And again, I'm changing subjects, but Miss Keisha has such a success story with one of her children, her oldest child. I would love for you to, yes, I'm about to make her cry again. I would love for you to talk about your oldest daughter, Miss Azaria Van Hook, and her accomplishments. Please give us a rundown of this wonderful GPA that she has, just to hear what you're doing and just how near and dear this is to your heart, and how even at home you focus on academics. So please share with us.
Yeah, so Azaria, I could just start with the fact that, so she's my firstborn, and you guys, if you have multiples, you know, the first you give a little more attention to than the others because you have more time. But her name means aided by God, and she is truly aided by God. So as a house rule, we have always put forth the education as a top priority in our home. And that's one of the things that I hope to pass on to others, that it is such a good platform that you have for your household, that education is a top priority. So she has really taken that to heart, and she's a self-starter. So I didn't even have to really harass her. I think that's part of the whole aided by God, that she had it within her own self to do well. And she's always been an overachiever. So yes, her sophomore year, she was at Romeoville and she finished third in her class. We went to Plainfield East, where she was 5th in the class and had a 5.9 GPA. So this year, she was applying for colleges and she was receiving some scholarship offers. And just here recently, just about 3 days ago, we received word that she is a recipient of the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship. And it's with Visa Black Scholars. It is awesome. So my baby has a full ride.
Yes.
Do it.
And what college will she be going to?
North Carolina A&T.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. 5.9 GPA.
Yes. She had multiple AP classes, honors classes, and earned A's in all of them.
Excellent. We are so
Yes.
proud, Miss Azaria, and that is excellent. We like to just keep seeing that positivity, and I have no doubt that you being a part of this organization that you're a part of, you will continue to have many, many more success stories, just like your daughter, reaching these young men and the people that you are bringing in, touching their lives. I'm just so happy you were able to join us. I'm happy you were able to tell us about this program so that we are now in the know and we can do our part, whatever that may be. Please reach out to us when you may be in need. And if you're starting to struggle for speakers to come and talk to your group, we'd love to try to provide some help if there's someone that we know who would be able to speak. So before we go, any last words? I just want to thank you again.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
I'd like to open it up to questions. Sora, Pat, are there any questions before we sign off? I don't know if you are able to the chat.
I have one question, and we were going to focus on like cyberbullying or bullying as it stands. Do you see much of that? Are the boys, are they concerned, or are they feeling any of that pressure, those type of pressures? If so, we would love to have points that we can move forward with and try to address on our platforms that we have. And again, I just want to take a second to say thank you so much for sharing with us this morning. And you were just amazing. In the past, we've always talked about opportunities with our youth, and somehow it just kind of falls through the cracks. And so you are just a blessing, and just to see your tears touch my heart. So I'm gonna shut up, and have you just answer my question. Okay.
Cyberbullying is an issue. We typically see that more with girls than with boys. When we see it with boys, the true reality is that I notice it's more sexual in nature with boys, asking for pictures and sharing pictures kind of thing with boys. With girls, it's more, I don't want to be your friend, you're ugly, you're this. And so I think the part of the solution is that we really need to educate students about the ramifications, because now there are laws against cyberbullying, and you could face, some different kind of consequences than just regular bullying, in the schoolyard. And oftentimes kids don't think past their actions. They don't think what will happen after. They don't take into consideration, how will this other kid feel that I've now posted their pics, or I've sent all these nasty comments about them to all my friends on Snapchat. So I think what needs to happen is we have those conversations with kids early on, even as early as elementary, as we see it as soon as it hits the middle school. A lot of 6th grade, but they really weren't exposed to it and didn't know the ramifications when they were in elementary. So really having those conversations, and just the idea that you can get in big trouble, especially with the uptake in news, that it crosses a line to child pornography. And the kids don't understand that. They think, oh, it's not a big deal. Well, she sent me a picture and I just sent it to someone, and then they sent it to someone. Then we have to involve other people, because at that point, you've crossed the line. It's child pornography. So a 7th, 8th grader, they don't understand that. So having those conversations, giving them the information so that when they make these decisions, perhaps they'll think about the consequences before they actually do the act.
Thank you again. Sora, Pat, did you have any other questions, or are we?
No, I'm good, unless some of the other participants on the call have questions they wanted to ask Keisha. I don't have anything else, other than we want you back again. You are always welcome. In fact, I have a line with your name, we can put your name down, because it's so interesting and it's so important. It is just a beautiful thing that you're doing for our male youth. And so on that, I'm going to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keisha Van Hoof. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing many, many more great success stories. So if we have you back soon, or if we have you back for the update, we're just looking forward to hearing more all about the program. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you all. You guys have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, and this is TLAC Foundation Incorporated, and we are talking about Mind, Body, and Soul 360, Revise, Renew, and Reset. We will be offering additional sessions with other individuals and organizations throughout the community, and they will be speaking to our community in matters of health, in our youth, our information about the things that we have in the community that we may not know that are available to us in all age groups. So please stay checked in. You can find us on Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Kappa Mu Omega Chapter, on TLAC Foundation, on our YouTube page. So we look forward to sharing more information with you, and just sit down and chat. Thank you, and have a blessed day.